Hello BookTube, welcome back to my channel. This is a book talk. If you're new here, my name is Emmy. I talk about books, and today we are going to talk about An Ember in the Ashes by Sabah Tahir. This is a book talk. This is going to be a spoiler-free review. I read this book 3 times. I read it first when it came out, and then I think last year I wanted to reread it in order to read Reaper at the Gates, the 3rd book in the series, and things were just, busy and I couldn't read it. And I got Reaper when it first came out, but then I was like, I can't, read the 3rd book and wait a year for the 4th book. Because if you know the series, that Sabah, she likes cliffhangers so much, and I was not willing to wait a year on a cliffhanger, because when I first read Ember, Torch was not out yet. I waited like a year for it to come out, and then I read Torch, and then I waited a year for Reaper, and then I was like, okay, Reaper, I'm not gonna do that to you. I'm going to wait until Sky is near, okay? Sky is just about to be released, and then I'll be just like, yeah, perfect, we're gonna read it. So Penguin Random House have hosted a readathon. They have been reading the first book 2 months ago. Last month they read Torch, and this month they are reading Reaper at the Gates, the 3rd book in this series, and the 4th book is going to be out in December. And I was like, okay, let's reread the whole thing again. And then, a side note, I still haven't read Reaper, so I've read both 2 books. The first 2 books, I read them twice, and Reaper, I haven't read it yet. So yeah, that's all my information. Please don't spoil anything in the comments. Ember in the Ashes, what is it about? It's this dystopian, dark kind of world. So the scholars, they are the normal people. They are the people where they are really oppressed. They are slaves. They get raided a lot by the mosques. The mosques are the upper hand in this city, and the mosques are like the soldiers. They get to be trained. They get to have knives and weapons to defend themselves and to do whatever they want with the scholars. So the scholars are the oppressed people in this book. And we have Laya. Laya is a girl who one day, literally in the first chapter, her grandparents die, and the mosques raid their house and takes her brother, and they just go. And then she's left wondering what she's supposed to do. She goes and follows those resistance. The resistance are the rebels. The rebels are the ones who just don't like the mosques, and they don't like the ruling or their system. And she goes and asks them to help her to find her brother, and then they give her a task to be a slave of the commandant, or she's called the commandant. Sorry for the spelling mistakes. The first time I read it, I said commandant, and then I heard the audiobook was commandant. So yeah, the commandant is like, she has a very important role in the book, and she goes be enslaved on the most ruthless person in Black Lake Academy. It's the academy Academy of the Mosques. So yeah, I hope the description is great. So on the other hand, we have Elias. Elias is a mosque. Also, I want to say something. Yeah, all this happens in like the first chapter, so you're like, I'm not spoiling anything. We have Elias, or Elias. I don't know the proper, I call him Elias. Elias is a mosque. He has to abide by the rules of the mosques and be loyal to them, and he hates the system. He hates how there is this big injustice in this world, and he hates how they all act, and he's like, I want to run away, and he tries to escape and run free from all of this, but something big happens, this big event, and he has this role that he has to follow, and yeah, his path and Laya's path cross in the middle, and the story is told in both point of views, chapter, Elias and Laya, and it's one of the very, very interesting books I've ever read. Can we talk about the writing style? The writing style is super amazing. It's super complex, super has that amazing depth to the story. It's just another world that's created magnificently by Sabaa Tahir, and honestly, I can describe how much it is unique and how much I haven't read anything like this before. Also, this book is filled with plot twists and cliffhangers through the chapters. You're always on the edge of your seat while reading. Yeah, you're super excited of what's going to happen. She always keeps us hanging and waiting for the next thing that's going to happen. Also, in the middle of this thing, you have that, point in the book where you're like, I know this is not all the information that's been happening. There might be someone having powers in that book. Also, there is this weird creatures. They're like gulls. I don't know what does that mean. I think they are like ghosts and augurs. Same thing. Weird black creatures that read minds, and ifrits. And I think ifrit is the thing of ghosts too. I think so. Yeah. So it has this amazing world building, as I said. Another amazing thing. This book probably is the closest thing to like the Arab culture of the books that I've read myself, and it has that tribe vibes. We have this, Arab tents and clothes, and the names, kind of, some names are references like Arab names, and I'm from Egypt, if you don't know that, and this was the closest thing of an Arab culture that was in any book I've read before, and I was super excited and interested when I was reading. So yeah, it was kind of the closest thing that comes to Egypt, and this, it has that Persian, Egyptian, Arab vibe to the food, to the culture, and the appearance, and all. Also, it's set in like old times. It has skims and bombs and knives, and it's really amazing. There's this character, her name is either Helene or Helen, I don't know. She's called Helene, and her character is so badass, and I'm super excited to read through her journey in the next book, because I think she's going to be very, very strong. Her character was complicated for me throughout the book, because at the beginning I was like, I don't know what are her motives, and is she with the masks or against them? But she just, kind of goes inside, and you have to follow both characters. Also, the relationship between Elias and Laya was really, it had that amazing chemistry. So it was really beautiful. So I can describe how much the description of the book touches my heart in many ways. Sabaa's writing style knows how to make you feel the pain and the struggles and what the characters go throughout the book, and there is so much more to the story, and I'm super excited to read the second book. I already read it before, but I'm super excited to reread and get immersed into the story, and yeah, get excited to read Reaper. And if you haven't read this book, you should do, because if you like dark books, if it has so much depth to the character and to the story, and as I said, world building is amazing, plot is amazing, the pace of the book is amazing, and the characters, they are wonderfully written. So yeah, I am so happy that this book tag is not that long, because there's not that much to talk about. I don't want to spoil anyone for anything of this book. There are many things that happened in this book, but I don't think I want to do a book talk full of spoilers, because I think I can do the spoiler part in the next book and do a book talk about it all. And yeah, I think that's it for today's video. You should pick the series up and join the club before the fourth book comes out. You're probably really missing out if you don't pick up this book, because it's one of those unique experiences that you go through with the books and with these books, and it's probably undescribable. I think I'm bad at describing how much this book is amazing. And yeah, if you pick it up, talk with me about it. If you have read it, tell me how much you like it or love it or hate it in the comments down below. If you like this video, give me a like and subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Then we have, on the other hand, Ella, and the characters are the characters are wonderfully, what can I say it? They are wonderfully written. So yeah.